Zhineng Qigong first gained attention in the West with a video recording made by American scientists showing a tumor shrinking and disappearing on an ultrasound screen. Zhineng Qigong practitioners were gathered around the woman, chanting in unison, combining sound, mind, and qi to change the information, causing the woman's tumor to shrink and disappear instantaneously. The recording was made at Grandmaster Dr Pang's Huasha Center in China, also known as the Medicineless Hospital. So what is the fundamental principle of Zhineng Qigong that makes it different than other Qigong systems? Well, the first most obvious difference is that Zhineng is based on the human's natural capacity to function at the supernatural level. Hence, we see paranormal phenomenon of Zhineng Qigong practitioners causing tumors to disappear. To examine how the underlying theory of Zhineng Qigong differs from other styles of Qigong, let's consider other major Qigong systems to make comparison. So there's yin-yang theories. In those systems, the aim is to regulate the human body's yin and yang, thereby eliminating the disease and strengthening the body's health. Some Qigong systems are based on Senchai theories. The human body consists of essence, qi, and mind. The human is formed by the integration of these three into one. Through over 2,000 years of practice, Taoists have found this to be true. Therefore, to practice essence, qi, mind method is a very effective way to improve health. Some Qigong systems are based on the 5 elements, which in the human body are the 5 vital organs. When the function of these 5 organs are normal, the body can become healthy. Some Qigong systems are based on the Bagua. The Bagua in the human body are the 8 special meridians, which have direct relationship with the flow of the human body meridian, qi, and blood. They also can regulate the 12 meridian channels of the body. Practicing the 8 special meridian channel method well can improve health. The various systems have their respective methods for practice. Their intentions are also different. Systems based on the 10,000 things theories level use various methods aimed at curing specific diseases. The theories and methods become more complicated with each level. Now, to draw comparison with all of these Qigong systems, Zhineng Qigong is based on the one unified qi level before the yin and the yang is formed. This level of qi is the primal level. At this level, there is no need to distinguish different objects. This level of qi goes directly to the source. The theories and methods of Zhineng Qigong are very easy. From this primordial level, qi can be transformed into yin and yang, 5 elements, bagua, 10,000 things, etc. The laws of physical matter cannot control the qi at the primordial level. For this reason, there's no need to diagnose or choose the treatment for energy healing, nor any need to think about the status of the body's yin, yang, organs, nor the meridian channels, qi and blood. Zhineng Qigong system for healing is to gather source energy, transforming it into physical matter, and contrastingly, releasing the matter and transforming it into qi, facilitating the natural process of formless into form and form into formlessness. By following this method of practice, gathering and absorbing the primal source qi, the primal qi, Hunyuan qi, as Grandmaster Pang calls it, can regulate yin and yang, harmonize deficiency or excess. Whichever organ or meridian channel is imbalanced, the nature of Huanyuan Qi will immediately regulate and enforce it. Any disease of any kind can be transformed and the body returned to normal. Grandmaster Pang, founder of Zhineng Qigong science, explains humans have not consciously reformed their own body and spirit in accordance with their own will to make their body and spirit progress to more advanced and more beautiful realms. Zhineng Qigong is the science that emphasizes the reforming of oneself by means of actively applying one's own consciousness. Dr. Pang provides the following example of a broken bone to illustrate how his Zhineng Qigong provides a pathway where traditional Qigong theories have faced limitation. It is widely believed in modern and medical science that bone fractures cannot swiftly or easily be healed. The old Chinese saying of injury of tendon or bone needs 100 days to heal is just a description of the difficulty in fracture healing. Why is it like that, you may ask? It has been discovered in modern science that the electricity on the surface of bones differs from the electricity inside them. Once the bone is broken, the two fractured surfaces of the fractured spot, which was once inside of the bone, becomes outside of it. The electricity of the affected area becomes positive. The fractured ends are both positive in electricity, and electrical charge of the same polarity repels each other, thus making it difficult for the bone to heal. This is the description in modern science of the natural attribute of this natural occurrence, fracture in this case, in humans. However, in Zhineng Qigong, the power of consciousness is applied to change the natural laws. It compels the fracture to swiftly heal. Traditional Qigong Hunyuan theory find it hard to provide a reliable theoretical foundation for this. This is because if Hunyuan Qi gathers and condenses, it comes into form, it expands and disperses it into wind. Here the traditional Qigong theories mainly describe in terms of the natural world, while as far as human Huanyuan Qi is concerned, it is recognized merely as Yuan Qi, primordial Qi in humans. Yet the effect of Yuan Qi alone cannot accomplish the target, in this case being immediate healing of a broken bone. Zhineng Qigong science highlights the consciousness feature of human body Huanyuan Qi. From Zhineng Qigong perspective, the most fundamental characteristic of human-level primordial Qi is its feature of consciousness, and consciousness is holographic. In Zhineng Qigong, consciousness is holographic means the Huanyuan Qi whole entirety information. It contains not only the features of the reality of existences, but also the information above the change and development of the past and future of existences. It is the information about the whole entirety of time and space. Space intelligence can perceive and interact with it. The purpose of practicing Zhineng Qigong lies in enhancing this Hunyuan process of mergence and change between human consciousness and objective existences. Many Zhineng Qigong teachers can heal fractures in a moment, and this provides an example of this theory of Zhineng Qigong science being successfully applied. To further explain the theory of Hunyuan, mergence and change, any independent existence is not simple and single, but has a Hunyuan whole entirety formed with emergence and change of at least two kinds of substances. Therefore, every individual thing has its own Hunyuan formation process, and after it's formed, continues to merge and change with the external world. All independent existences, things, beings, form the primordial Hunyuan Qi and continue with their new evolution against the grand background of primordial Hunyuan Qi, thus making the time and space structures in the universe change with each passing day and month. How do they change? That is to say, what are their modes of motion? The fundamental modes of motion are, firstly, open and close. Kai, he. This is the fundamental movement, and all other movements are based upon this movement. Kai, he, open, close, refers to the expanding outward of the boundary of Hunyuan Qi, while close refers to the closing inward of the boundary of Hunyuan Qi. Then there is gather and expand. Gather refers to the gathering inward of every component element of primordial Qi. It is at first the condensing of the density between each component element. When a certain degree is reached, transformation will happen in the phase, the process of forming somethingness out of nothingness. Expand refers to expanding in the density between each component element, and can also be dispersion in the change of phase state. The transformation process of somethingness turning into nothingness in the stage of dispersion into Qi of concrete substance is just the dispersion that takes place in the change of Hunyuan phase state. Now let's look at consciousness according to Zhineng Qigong science. Consciousness is a special form of motion of substance. The motion of substance of Yi Yuan Ti, mind, oneness, entity, that surrounds and intermingles with the brain cells. Consciousness is considered in three parts. Firstly, consciousness in the narrow sense, the motion of concepts in the subjective world. Then consciousness activity in the broad sense, the reflection of all life activities in the subjective world, and superintelligence consciousness activity. Consciousness comes from the reflection of various relevant information, social information, natural information, and life information of one's own body, about the internal and external environment in the human body's life processes. Consciousness activities are the display of Yi Yuan Ti, the mind oneness entity, functions. They are the content and process of Hunyuan activities, whereas the motion of consciousness activities is carried out against the background of Hunyuan's reference system. Hunyuan's reference system is one's personal conditioning that creates one's belief systems. One cannot take the consciousness activity in one's mental reference system as one's internal master. The mental reference system has, to a certain extent, locked Hunyuan, the mind oneness entity, into a certain mode and makes its free, self-awakened, self-knowing nature and total initiative follow the mode of the mental reference system.